What is up, you lovely people, and thank you so much for coming back for another YouTube video. Now today is a slightly different take and approach on it, as you probably can see from the thumbnail and the title. Today is about a mini interview with a mentee called Jack. In the last 5 weeks, he's hit over 10k euros in the last 5 weeks, which is insanely impressive and puts him in the top 10% of earners in Ireland. And what's even more impressive, he's only 21 years of age. He is miles ahead for his age and how long he's been trading for, but I'll let him tell you that. And most importantly from today's video, hopefully you're gonna see, because a lot of you watching this will be in his position as he was even just a few months ago, where he still didn't have any tangible results for his trading, but now he's starting to see it come to fruition. And so I think you're gonna take a lot away from today's video, but more probably from a psychological side of things, and how Jack's had to sort of change the way he views things, be a lot more open-minded, and a hell of a lot more. So grab a pen and paper and enjoy. And as always, thank you for watching these videos. We really, really appreciate it. Take care. Jack, welcome to the YouTube. Seriously good to have you on here, so thank you for joining us.
I'm much appreciated for having me.
Today is all about you, your journey, where you're at, where it's come from, and hopefully along the way you can help inspire others who want to be in your situation now that you've sort of stood the test of time and proven that you can trade and that you're getting some really, really tangible rewards. So Jack, tell us more about yourself.
Initially trading wasn't what I first set out to do. It was always sports. I would have played sports at a high level, and I thought that would have been my career path in the future. And if it wasn't playing, it was going to be something to do with coaching or strength and conditioning coach or side of things or whatnot, but something to do with physical activity. But it was getting to a point where I wanted to be making a living out of it, and I was playing for X amount of years with a first team side, and they weren't paying me because obviously I was underage for them amount of years, and whatever way the contracts work, they could technically play me as an underage player. And it was quite disheartening because I was getting setback. And I didn't really want that for my life anymore. And I was like, there's more to life than this. I'd sacrificed so much to the sport, and it was like, okay, I need a break. And I think I actually took a break, and I came across what trading was. I was like, this is interesting. Maybe I could get on board with this, and this could be a potential career path. Obviously I seen it in the fashion of invest £300 or whatever, this and that, or a signals group or whatnot, and I didn't actually go ahead with that. I took it out of my best interest to go and try get some information on it myself. And a friend of mine actually had a course he had access to. He goes, "Do you want this?" So I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And then I think I still have the notepad somewhere. My very first notes. This was we'll be going back 3 years now in January. So that's been the journey so far.
So 3 years in January will mark you turn 22 this January 2026, don't you?
Yeah.
It'll be 3 years. So we've said this to you before, but you are massively ahead of schedule in terms of your age, the rewards that you're seeing, which is hugely encouraging, and you're only 21, which is mad. Has it sunk in yet in terms of over the last 5 or 6 weeks? In terms of I'll pop it up for people to see, but has it sunk in yet? Because it's been your best ever 5 weeks in trading, really.
I think at first it was a little bit surreal. It was a bit of a pinch me moment to see the numbers I had done. I was like, hold on, I'm 21 years of age and I have broken into this level of earnings.
Yeah.
I just sustain this and stay consistent and stay process driven and just internalize the process of this becoming my profession and my full-time job. The things I can do is astronomical. I can make great breakthroughs and create generational wealth from this, because it is a generational wealth making skill, whether people want to believe it or not. If you have the right characteristics and enough capital, I mean, you can go anywhere with it.
100%. Yeah. And I think if you do things the right way, as you're doing, and they're systemized, and we keep it very non-emotive, and like you said, it's just doing business, really. Like I said, I always said to you, I can't remember if you remember me saying, but I always said to you, when you had your first payout, I was secretly proud of you, but I was basically like, don't get excited about it.
Yeah.
Business as usual, crack on. So it's nice. The first one's always nice to have that little win, but it's pleased now you've, like you said, you've normalized that non-reaction to it. It's a tangible outcome from you being disciplined and doing the same thing over and over again.
And I know now I've gotten multiple payouts. I know it's a consistently repeatable process. So it's not just a one-off look, you
Yeah,
know.
proven to yourself you
I've
can.
proven to myself I can be consistent.
And you've now got hindsight that a lot of unprofitable traders don't have, where because people are unprofitable, 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 you've now seen the flip side to if you do X, Y, Z, you're
Yeah,
disciplined with that, in and out, no breaking of rules here and on paper, you get paid.
yeah, simple as.
And then this is why it's actually easier now, because why would you ever break your rules again? Because you know what it leads to or doesn't lead to.
Yeah, and I mean, you break your rules and it leads to lack of peace of mind, and you're not operating from a flow zone, and you're not one with the charts, and you're not seeing charts for what they are.
Yeah,
So I mean, if you sort of change the paradigm and say, okay, well, my setup isn't there, I don't have to do anything, which is fantastic. It
exactly.
makes your life a lot easier.
100%. And you know, again, this is an intuition and experience thing. But again, as years and months go on, you immediately become very good at going, right, yeah, it's not there. Brilliant.
Yeah,
Off I go. I
yeah,
go
and
do
I've
something
noticed that
else.
big time. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
once you see the strategy play out over enough times, you understand it more and you understand the nature of it. And then two, your priorities change.
Mm.
So before I had met you, I was trading lower time frame, 15 minute, 5 minute, 1 minute sort of strategies, which I know makes you clench your teeth.
You know my opinions on those
I
time
do,
frames.
and that's my same opinion now. But I didn't know. Well, I had no teacher in the first place, so I didn't know, is this the right thing? Is this the wrong thing? Because you have so many people online
Mm.
saying, "No, this is what you do, or this is what you do," and you're trying to sort of intertwine different methodologies into one strategy, and it's a complete mess. So
Yeah.
once you have that structure point as you for you as a teacher, you can see, okay, this is what he does. He's there, he's doing it, and he will keep doing it. Base myself off of you completely, because I think a lot of people, I will say this about myself, I have a complete open mindset, and I was really open to learning a new way, because people are so dead set on trading a certain strategy that isn't profitable, and it's their ego, and they need to let go of that ego to say, okay, well, what I'm doing isn't working, so
Yeah.
let's try something else and see if it works. Because I think there's such a stigma around higher time frame trading for some reason, and it's just lack of setup. So it's you need extreme patience, and it's too long to take money out of the market. But it's not really. It's a couple of days trades you are in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like personally, I know a couple of people that trade, and I'll tell them how long I hold the trade for, and they're like, "What?" I'm like, "It's not." Once you normalize the process of basing your strategy off higher time frames, it's fine, and
Yeah.
it's actually it's so much less stressful.
100%. And I'd argue we make more from the markets over both short and long term periods. It's easier to string together consistently profitable months.
Yeah,
You've now had, I think, 3 months on the bounce now.
yeah,
And obviously you're getting paid well for that, which is good. Yeah, we see eye to eye on that, but there is a massive stigma. And I think you think the failure rate we can always be transparent. The failure rate is so high in trading anyway.
yeah,
My opinion, and this is, yes, it's very opinionated, but there's also the data and the math behind it, and that's the stuff that comes out of the institutions and the hedge funds, the bigger prop firms. So proper reliable data that your 1 minutes, your 5 minutes, your scalping, your in and outs, it's too noisy. There's no
yeah.
profitability long term. And when you look at the institutions, you don't have traders manually trading the 1 minute, 5 minute. It's all bots, it's all of that side of things, because it's so much better at dealing and coping with that degree of stimulus and those quick price movements. It's
And
yeah.
I do think there's a bit of a correlation between the style of trade or the time frame you use and your priorities as a trader.
Yes.
I think
100%.
you'll see people who are trading 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. They want money and they want it now. They're so fixated on the now. One trade, two trades, three trades.
Yeah.
But when you actually realize what trading is, and your priorities are on longevity and consistency and monthly P&Ls, you can
Yeah.
see the mindset sort of switch,
Mhm.
and you're indifferent between trade to trade.
Yeah.
Because once you're focusing on your strategy, your execution, and flawlessly executing on that, I mean, drawdown is non-linear, but long term, you're going to see success.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get this comment a lot when I talk about higher time frames, because everyone always says immediately with higher time frames, well, with higher time frame strategies, your win rate's not as high. And I go, yes, in theory, but your win rate, like I said, is a non-measurable metric. You can't control it month to month. And I say, and this is the beauty of sort of that asymmetric risk to reward. I know that, so as you know, I call every trade live, but there'll be months this even in 2025 where I've had a 32% win rate, and it's been a hugely profitable month. It's been a 6, 7, 8% month. I also had a win rate a few months ago of, I think it was 59, 60%, which is really, really high
Yeah,
for the type of risk reward, the 1 to 3 minimum risk reward we trade, which is insane. So it is possible. Everybody says, you can't get a win rate above 40, 45, 50%. So that's rubbish. You just need the right system, the
yeah,
right approach, because a lot of stuff out there is really noisy, as you said.
yeah,
But you can see your mindset's massively switched as well, because obviously, not only from the results, but like I said, more the way where you've been on both sides of the spectrum
yeah,
and you've seen, yeah, you've been open enough to welcome it.
yeah,
What I ask anybody that comes on board, I say, look, open mind. Obviously, I don't work with any beginners, so everybody I work with, as like I said, has come from somewhere and
yeah.
something, and comes with good and bad habits. That's all I ask: be open and work really hard and be really disciplined. And good, good. 21, 10K in 5 weeks.
Just keep scaling. Just keep scaling.
What's next for you, man? Tell us about plans in terms of scaling, in terms of life. You're only 21. What's going on your end?
Um, in terms of trading, now I'm trading a 200k account on FTMO at the minute, and I am currently in the process of doing a phase one on another 200k FTMO challenge. So I want to have two 200k accounts in rotation, and then if it's a case of going to another prop firm and having another 200k account on that and rotate three 200k accounts,
Yeah.
and really just have the maximum buffer possible so I can have that maximum drawdown, but also have that 600k in capital, just risk management, really good risk management, so I can sort of maximize my profits and minimize the drawdowns. And maybe one day, something like you're doing, I would love to get into the education side of things. I think trading is such a saturated industry online, and I think it's very far and few between that there is actually legitimate people out there trying to help people and have it in the good of their heart. Maybe not exactly what you're doing, maybe a different niche or whatever, but it is in my mind that I would like to do something like this. And maybe move away. I would love to relocate.
Mm.
And I think perfect job, perfect occupation to go and have the ability to do that.
And I think, like I say, like you've obviously you clearing 10K in the last 5 weeks pretty much means you could move, and those numbers are only going to go up as your capital goes up and you
Yeah,
keep getting better and refining. You can move pretty much anywhere you like in the world and be pretty damn comfortable.
well, yeah.
Yeah, which is again I guess it's number one reason you get into the game in the first place: time
You know what
freedom.
I mean? Exactly. It caters to so many human desires, time freedom, financially freedom, location freedom. It's all just on the
Yeah.
tip of your fingers.
Where's on the top of your list at the moment, tickling your fancy location wise? There's a few, I'm sure.
Me and a friend of mine are thinking we want to do Dubai for a month next year.
Yeah.
So either Dubai, I do like the look of Malta, do like the look of Cyprus as well.
Yeah.
There's a that those would be my top three
Yeah.
top three destinations.
I sat down with lawyers the other day about Cyprus,
Yeah,
and moving things out, because it's the best of both in my opinion. It's obviously it's a lot. It's only 3.5, 4 hour flight. Great weather, even in the winter season. You're still fairly mild and warm.
yeah,
Um, Massively upcoming. A lot of money is moving there, which is good. And then you're well connected for the rest of the world.
yeah,
You can fly then into the Middle East really quickly. You can fly into Asia really quickly.
yeah,
Yeah, and you only have to spend 90 days there, which is
yeah.
good.
Compared to the 183 days, I think it is in other countries.
Yeah, well, actually, to be fair, there's a couple of things with Cyprus. We'll probably go into it now where actually you only have to be there for 60 days in Cyprus. There's
Okay.
a couple of things depending situation, but you'd probably fit into this because of obviously the income that you'll have. Um, but it's 60 days. And if you get the right place, they will provide the address for you. And then for those 60 days, you just need to be in hotels, Airbnbs. So you don't actually need to buy property there if you don't want to.
So it's just evidence that you're actually in the country then, yeah?
Which is awesome. Yeah. And she said on the phone, everybody always says that. They're always really, really happy when they hear that. So
Yeah.
I think you're doing the right thing, spending 3, 4 weeks in a place so you can properly see what it'd be like day to day.
Yeah.
A week or two, I don't think is ever enough.
No, I think you need to sort of internalize that feeling of being in a country for longer than a week because I think it'll just give that holiday feeling if you're only there for a week or two.
100%. Yeah. Oh, good. Jack, I know over the past in our calls, we spoke a lot about the mindset side, the discipline side. You've obviously done a lot of self inner work. Can you tell us a little bit more about that over sort of the last 3, 4 months?
Yeah. I think I have a lot of notes on sort of my psychology and where my mind has been and where it does be and what sort of space I operate in the best. And I think I've come to the point. I think if you start studying your psyche too much, I think you can become quite neurotic. I think the more you actually try and get in your own head and be introspective, the worse it gets because you're overthinking your thought processes. And I think trading as a concept is actually quite simple. I think what people struggle with, and myself included, is listening to yourself. I think letting go of your ego and actually saying, okay, that's not my setup. Do not trade it. Or opportunity is not there. So don't look at the chart and stop trying to see something that isn't there. And I think there's a fine line between overanalyzing and being healthily introspective. I used to go into deep sort of thought into what my mind was at during a trade, but now I appreciate it and respect that it's there, but I don't necessarily give it too much emphasis because once you understand yourself, it's not a case of saying, I need to be disciplined, I need to be disciplined, I need to be disciplined. It becomes part of your character.
Yeah.
So you just identify as a disciplined person. So it's indifferent. It just comes naturally. And I think that's a thing as well. When you're trying to force yourself into becoming this perfect, disciplined, structured, stoic trader, it's 99% of the time forced for people, myself included. It felt really forced. And it was like warping me as a person personally. And I said, let me detach myself from trading completely, personality gone. When I'm on the charts, I'm on the charts, but let me be me when I'm outside. And I think that was such a big turning point because it was quite fatiguing when you're trying to you're on your come up basically, and you're getting to a place which looks so far, and it's only a couple of trades away technically from achieving what you need, but yet psychologically it's extremely draining, and in one loss feels like a whole life or death situation, and such an identity clash with yourself because you've put all this work into being such a disciplined trader, and one loss feels like, oh, I'm a failure. How am I after doing this, you know? But once you sort of hit that switch mentally and say, okay, trading is trading. I am me. I'm not a failure, or this doesn't define me as a person, you know? I think it has powerful an effect on your trading performance.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. It's just remaining, like I said, indifferent, isn't it? It's trying to, as soon as you're on those charts, it's yeah, it's going very systemized. What are things telling me, not what I think. Lots of
Yeah.
people try and portray where they think things are going to go. It's like it doesn't matter where you think it's going to go. What is price telling you?
And I
What
think
macros telling you?
if you keep that base structure of trading, stick to your rules, executing your strategy, that's it. I think there's so many branch offs and olive trees to do with trading, and you can go into great detail about them, but it just confuses you. And it's
Yeah,
like just get back to the main point. And I think once you just stick to the main point, you will be successful.
yeah. And hopefully for you now, it doesn't feel like a switch to turn on when you're on the charts. Because like I said, you look after yourself outside of trading. So yeah, it's a lot easier to get into that zone and just go, yeah, I stick to my rules. I
Yeah,
do things
that's
as
it.
I know I
Mm.
should. And again, as we mentioned earlier, you've now got that hindsight of the tangible reward,
Yeah,
the tangible satisfaction as well in your head, where you go, if I do X, Y, Z, I know leads to
I'm
this.
getting paid. Yeah,
And getting paid. And now I say this to anybody that comes on board: if we can get you the system right, which you have now, and there's
yeah,
proof in the pudding with that, world's your oyster in terms of
yeah.
scaling. In terms of, some people might want to top out and making 15, 20K a month, which is that's really no. I hate online because they 15 to 20K a month online seems like it's pennies. It's not. That is
That's it.
life
I think
changing for 99% of
seeing
people.
people online with demo accounts and just pressing multiple positions on one trade, like it skews so many beginner traders' idea as to what a large amount of money is to be making in trading.
Yeah.
And I've seen it with you firsthand that what we are doing is extremely healthy, it's extremely sustainable.
Mm.
And in reality, they're just gambling.
Yeah.
90% of people when they're making that much money. Oh, it's not real.
Yeah. It's not
It's all
real.
it's all for social media presence and
Yeah. It's not, and it annoys as well when people talking. I made this amount on
I
this
made
trade.
10K this day and I made yeah.
And is that 10K because you've massively over leveraged and over lot size in relation to your account?
Yeah.
It's that the what only trade you're showing us when actually, do you know what I mean? It's just,
And I think the
do I
more
say
you
talking percentages,
yeah.
that's the
And
best way.
the more you learn about trading, the more you can see through people's lies as well. And I think
So, yeah,
even I know a couple of people that trade as well. I'm like, don't pay any attention to what these people are doing. Like, it's not genuine. It's not what real trading looks like. And
yeah,
I always say it. Making money does not equal flawless execution, but flawless execution will equal making money. Like so,
100%. Yeah. We care about longevity, as you know,
yeah.
consistency. Everybody thinks short term, and ultimately trading's an infinite game. We
And
want to be
that's
here
that's
5 years
that's what I
time.
mean as well. I think people long to be consistent traders so much, but they're so fixated on the now and they want money now. But the only thing that defines a consistently profitable trader is consistency over time. So you have to spend time to become consistently profitable. But people just don't seem to understand that and they just want one trade right now.
I think the prop firm space as well comes with a lot of positives. It really does. And I'm not crapping on them. I'm crapping on most companies because they're in it for the wrong reasons. But things like, as I say to all of you
MO.
guys, stick with FTMO. You're disciplined. You're a great risk manager. Anybody's never had a problem with them.
No.
Okay. People that have broken a rule and they just don't want to be honest with themselves, really.
Yeah.
They're in that victim mindset. So I think the whole gamification of phase one, phase two, making 10%. 10%, as you and I know, I say to everybody, if you make 3 to 5% a month, you're an
Huge.
utterly brilliant trader. Utterly
Yeah.
brilliant. You're outperforming the market big time with
Mm.
that. But because it's phase one and people want to get it past, and
Yeah.
it just leads to all these degenerative, yeah,
Trading behaviors. Yeah.
it's not trading, as you said earlier. So, Jack, what would you say to anybody that was, in your position, in the same position as you at the start of 2025, where obviously you're struggling, inconsistent? What would you say to people who are sort of stuck on the fence, or yeah, what
You're
would
gonna
you
get
advise
splinters. Get
to
off the fence. Yeah. Me personally, I was in a situation where it was small bit of success, fail, 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 small bit of success, and rinse and repeat over and over and over again for a year straight. I thought the first year was normal because obviously I'm in that learning process, but second year I got there and it was the same thing, and I was losing more money, and it was account after account after account, blown, blown, blown. I was like, if I want to do this consistently as a profession, I was like, I'm gonna need help. And I need help from the right teacher and the right mentor to nurture me as a trader and push me in the direction I need to go. So it was a case of when I came across you, I was like, I'm jumping on board straight away because you were the first person I'd actually seen in the online space to give a good gut feeling towards.
yeah.
And there's so many nameless, faceless accounts on Instagram for Forex. And it's such a stigma around it because when people hear it, all they hear is, oh, that's a scam.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
when I seen you and I seen your page, and I actually reached out to you out of curiosity just to see if you'd reply or whatnot, and you give me replies in great detail, that was already enough for me to say, okay, this guy seems trustworthy, you know. And I said, yeah, jump on board. You're doing yourself an injustice by being indecisive, you know. Just it will streamline the process of getting from where you are now, where you want to be. Like I've been on board with you since last January, February, I think.
Yeah, it's been
So
about
10 months,
9 months now.
nine,
Yeah.
10 months, yeah. And really, really, really starting to see it all come together now, you know.
Yeah.
So just don't be sitting on the fence, people. Just make a decision and go for it.
Yeah, man, yeah, I think it's a struggle, isn't it? It's finding the right fit for the right person, but also the right fit in general. Because like you said, 99% of stuff out there is just nonsense. And I think this is why I like that I it took me nearly 10 years before I made an online presence.
Yeah,
Then that's 9, 10 years of having everything to back up what I say, having
yeah.
the proof, having the data, having the money, having all of that, and then being in a position to then actually educate the right way. Whereas I think 99% of the industry is, I've made a bit of money after 2, 3, 4 years. I'll teach my system, da 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 da
And then
da.
you set a course, yeah.
And it's just regurgitated. It's like it's the just the what's that say?
It's
It's
a
like,
byproduct of
yeah.
subpar trading to byproduct of subpar trading and so on, so on, so on.
And it will just get less quality, less quality. And this is why it'll be another major reason why the stats are so high in terms of failure. Just one of the reasons, but it'll be met. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, we're super proud of you on our end. Trust me. Like I said, 21, 10K in 5 weeks, basically just a month. Um, it's just the beginning. That's on one account. Imagine when you're even just 400K max allocated, those 3 to
Yeah,
5% months start equaling 20K near enough.
extremely healthy, yeah.
So yeah, super proud of you, man. And thank you for hopping on. Really, really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
no problem. It was something different, and I actually really enjoyed it though.
Good. No, good. It's lovely to hear your story. 'Cause like I said, the year of 2025 has been lovely to watch and see. And I can look back on hindsight of you. I never really had any problems with you in the sense of never needed to question your discipline, never needed to pull you up on any bad errors, mistakes, any forced errors where, like you said, you've let yourself down. You've been brilliant. You've been absolutely brilliant. It's more just been installing my system, my method, and so on. And we're proud of you. Good. Right. Well, we'll catch up. We'll catch up then. But we'll end the video there in terms of the recording.
Yeah.